Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Capes and Lunatics. I am Phil. Lilith could not make it, but another interview, a very special guest, Celeste Bronfman. I looked at your social media. I saw comic and TV writer and time traveler. So
all of the above are true.
All of the above. Okay. So 2020.
One of them I wish I was more of, but yeah, I started in TV and I got into comics. Relatively recently, not too long ago, but yeah, so I've been doing TV as well and working in film as I do comics and juggle both.
So before we get to your comics and Jackpot #1, which is why we're here, what TV shows did you write for?
I wrote on a show called Degrassi in Canada. I wrote on a few other small Canadian shows before moving to the US. And then over the last 3 years, I was working at Marvel Studios. So I was on the TV and film side there.
Oh.
Yeah. Which is kind of a little bit how I got into Marvel Comics.
Oh, okay.
So a little bit of a bumpy ride. So we can get into it.
So like someone over there recommended you for the comics, or were you like, oh, I want to write some comics? Or
yeah, I've always wanted to write comics. So I started writing one-page gag strips about 6 or 7 years ago, and through that I got an opportunity to write My Little Pony. And I've written quite a few issues of that. I wrote a few arcs for My Little Pony, and then I wrote a Star Trek issue. And then I work with Zeb Wells of Amazing Spider-Man, and we were on quite a few projects together. And he knew that I always wanted to write Marvel comics and have wanted to since I was very young. So he and Nick and I, we met a few times before it actually happened, but they finally found a little opportunity to give me a few short stories in the annual and in the 31st issue of Amazing Spider-Man to introduce MJ as Jackpot. And it was a huge honor to be able to write for such an incredible, iconic character. So, yeah, it happened. It happened. There's not an easy route, but I'm so lucky to work with the people I do.
So you said you've been wanting to write comics for a long time, or were you a reader, or were you just I want to write comics?
I was a big reader. I always loved Marvel comics. I grew up reading a bunch. I grew up in Montreal in Canada, so there were a bunch of French comics I was reading when I was young. And they're not as popular as Marvel, but I think it was my in when I was young. It taught me how to read comics, to appreciate the art. And after that, I think I transitioned to, I love Doctor Who. So I was reading Doctor Who comics And I started going to comic book stores and learning from everyone who worked there which issues I should start with.
So do you think was it your love of comics that got you and started you on the path to be a writer, or was it then something else?
I think it kind of went hand in hand. I really loved Doctor Who growing up, and like that was kind of, I made it my mission to like one day write on Doctor Who. And so I would write like, I guess it was like fan fiction, but it was like kind of a spec script. I would just write a lot of stories and like dream of, I loved visual mediums of storytelling. And I know there are differences between comics and TV, but I think like some part of, just like the collaboration between artists and like camera folks and like set designers, like I loved coming together with different people to tell stories. And both comics and TV have that. So I think like I just wanted to work in some space, but I love comics so much, and I have so much respect for had so much respect for the people in comics, and like it had always been a dream.
Like I've asked other people this before, and I'm always interested in people's takes. It's like I've heard writing comics is like it's so different from writing anything else, either TV or movies or even like novels and stuff. Like it's a completely different animal.
Yeah, that's what I found. I think some people the transition's more seamless than it was for me, but I definitely had to learn, because I think for TV, what I found when I was like working on shows, it was very much like this character walks from here to here, and then it's up to a director and, you know, everyone on set to figure out what's the best movement. But in comics, you're kind of like aiding in the direction. Of course, like the artists take over and usually do a better job, but you kind of have to make sure that the action works and like plot it out on the page. So I'll have to or what I do is I draw it on the page and see how it's going to be like lay out on the page. If I have like 4 panels or 5 panels, and I try to like imagine it visually in my head, which is not something I usually did in TV. Cause it's more like up to someone else. Whereas in comics, I feel like it's a smaller team. So there's just more that you have to think of.
Mm-hmm. And I just wonder if you have to be more descriptive in comics, because like on a TV show, everything's already there. So it's like, okay, this person's going to walk over to the phone. But in a comic, you have to like, okay, there's a phone sitting on a table. The phone is red. You know, it's
yeah, for sure. For sure. A lot of that, like describing clothing sometimes, like obviously the artists have a lot of say in that. Mm-hmm. So I'll only put it if it's necessary. And obviously it's a discussion after that as well. But yeah, you're right. Like in TV, you wouldn't say, oh, you know, she's wearing jeans in this and like this colored shirt, unless it was like really necessary. It's usually like the costume department who would think that through. So yeah, so it's different.
So do you have? You probably don't want to say, but I was gonna say, do you have a favorite? Do you like comics, like writing for comics more, or television? Or you're probably like, no, I don't want to say one or the other.
I like both for different reasons. Is that a cop-out answer?
Oh,
perhaps.
No.
I like both for different reasons. I think what's so fun about comics is like you get to have like a lot of say in every step of the process. Has been my experience. Like I love getting every stage, like seeing the pencils and then the inks come in and colors, and being able to like, you know, be part of the process in lettering. But in TV, from my experience, it's kind of you write the thing and then you like send it off, and you wait to see how it comes along, or like it's kind of left in other people's hands. Obviously, like I wasn't at showrunner level, so I know that happens when you're at showrunner level. But yeah, I've loved being part of the process, and I think being able to, you just have a lot more freedom in comics. I think you can have more like action pieces, and you don't have to worry about budget as much, mm-hmm. which is really cool. And you don't have to worry about like, are there too many locations? Are there too many like costume changes? Because it's a little bit easier to do in comics. So there's so much more freedom in comics that you don't get in TV and film. But I also love the collaboration in TV and film. And I think that was like my first true love, was watching TV. And so I'll always have like a very special spot for it. But I love visual storytelling in both mediums. So.
And I mean, with Jackpot, I mean, they really threw you in. I mean, not only are you writing a top tier character, but it's like in the middle of a big crossover too. What's that? I mean, what's that like? I mean, are you and Zeb always on the phone, be like, okay, well, this is going to have to take place between here, you know?
It was definitely a lot of pressure, because you want to do justice and you want to like have it be her story, but also having like, you know, the backdrop of gang war. But I was very conscious of like making sure that the gang war didn't take over the story and that it was more about like her emotional journey. Mm-hmm. But yeah, definitely like mapping out the characters and where they all were. That took some finessing, because even like when I was first beginning, I remember being on the phone. My other friend, Cody Ziegler, was like doing the Miles stuff. So I would be in like a group chat with the two of them asking like, is this character still on the board? And there were definitely moments where I wrote like other characters into the script, and then we found out, oh, they're busy somewhere else. So there was like rewriting. And I know that happened with all of the crossover comics. But I was lucky to have like a great team, and everyone was like keeping in touch, and it was just an ever evolving thing. But it was a lot of fun, and I like Francine Fry, and it was fun to bring her in and have them interact. And she's like a little goofier, so it was a chance to get in some comedy, because I know gang war has not always been a lighthearted event. So I wanted to make sure there was some fun.
I mean, is this like the funnest job in the world, where you're just like, you know, you're in a group chat and it's just like, oh, can I use Electro? Yes, yeah, you know, it's all this fun.
It's the most fun. I am so lucky to like be doing what I do. And in this group of characters, I mean, like the Spider family has always meant a lot to me. So I am so excited. And like MJ's powers are so fun too, in that it can be anything. And I think there wasn't as much room to play here, but hopefully everyone will see a little more in the upcoming Jackpot and Black Cat series. But yeah, it's so fun. It's just like a playground, and it's like surreal sometimes when you're texting and being like, can Spider-Man be here? Can we have him? Or like, and you're kind of like, we bicker a little bit like siblings, and we're like, well, I would like this and I would like this. And in the end, we come together.
And not only did you get to use Spider-Man, She-Hulk's in this too.
Yeah, I love Jen Walters and She-Hulk, and I was really excited. I think, yeah, it was very fun. It was kind of Nick Lowe, who's the wonderful editor of these like comics, told me kind of just to pick characters I thought would be fun to see, and I thought it might be nice to have like Peter in there. I don't think he was necessary to the story, but it's nice to like kind of have them interacting. Mm-hmm. I think like at this point, I wasn't 100% sure how much they, like what was happening in Amazing Spider-Man through this time. But like, I love this connection they have where it's kind of like he believes in her and trusts in her. And I think they have such an incredible relationship. I know it's not romantic at the moment, but I think their dynamic has always been like such a pinnacle of both of their stories. So it was important to have him.
Yeah, and I mean, I know people like are really heavy on one side or the other, but I love that marriage, and like I loved her character. I thought like the two of them were like the two leads of like all the Spider-Man books for the longest time, and then when the marriage was gone, I was like, oh no, we're losing. You know, she's not going to be the lead, you know, a lead character as much. So thank you, because this issue was so good, and yes, for taking care of one of my favorite characters. Thank you.
That means so much to me. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I was like, I know how much I love her and how much people love her. And I think like I'm excited that she has more room to grow as a character and, like a platform to stand on her own a little bit. And I think she will see her more with Peter, of course, in the future. But I think like right now I love exploring her and her dynamic with like Black Cat and all of that.
I mean, I think it's selling good, because yesterday I rolled into my comic shop at like 3:00 and I got the last copy.
Oh, yay. That makes me so happy. I I was doing a signing last night at my local comic book shop, and there were like such wonderful people who came in and just like were telling me their stories of like what Spider-Man means to them and what MJ means. And it just was really heartwarming. And yeah, it's just nice to speak to people who love the character. And I really hope I've done her justice. I love her too. So I'm glad to hear that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm old. I've been reading them for over 30 years, and yes, you did do the character justice, all of them.
Thank you so much. That is so wonderful to hear.
And then you did mention you are going to have a Jackpot Black Cat series. Is that in March? Is that when that comes out?
It is. I believe it's the last week of March. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be able to kind of show MJ and Felicia and delve into their friendship a bit more. And I love their dynamic.
Yes.
I'm sure you too are
yes.
a big Felicia Hardy fan.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's just so fun. I love Jed McKay's like Dark Web series. And so I'm just excited to like get to play with those characters that he did such a great job building their friendship. Is
that like a set amount of issues, or is that how are they doing that?
Yeah, I believe I'm allowed to say it's going to be 4 issues.
Okay.
So it's a set series, and hopefully people like them and want to see more, because I would love, even if I'm not the one writing it, like I'd love to see them together in the future. I think their dynamic is really fun, and I love how supportive they are of one another, even though they come at like situations from very different angles.
And I will throw it out here now. If you want to come back and promote that series, yeah, we're always down to talk Spider-Man stuff. Yeah,
let's do it.
Yes.
I'm absolutely down.
Yes.
It's fun hanging and talking comic books.
Oh yeah, I could just imagine writing them. I mean, I just get such a vicarious joy just talking to writers about this stuff.
Yeah, it's so fun. I mean, I feel like you would make a great comic book writer.
I probably need some talent, but I mean, I have the passion. I don't know about the talent.
Yeah, I think honestly, it's like your love for the characters and your like understanding the characters is, I think that's the most important part. Of course, like structure and writing and talent, but I think like it's so important when you're writing something to be passionate about it, mm-hmm. especially when it comes with such like a large fan base. Yeah, so it's like an honor to be writing.
What I think it comes across too, you can tell when a writer really is passionate about a character and just how much that they put into it. Which, like I said, I enjoyed this issue because I can tell. Yeah, I could tell you really care about Mary Jane.
Thank you. That is, I do, and I know it's like it's hard to like please everyone when you're writing something, but I try to think like what would I have wanted to read when I was young. Mm-hmm. And I think like I wasn't introduced to comics until I was a little older. I wish I, would have read them or gone to a comic book store when I was like, before I was 10. But like stories like this feel like something that would have really drawn me. And so if it helps like other people get into comics, that's what my aim is always to do.
So you said you had a signing. You said it went well. Are you doing any more signings in the near future?
Ooh, we'll see. I might be doing one for Women's History Month.
Oh.
We'll see. But yeah, I would love to do more signings. I think it would be fun to meet more people. So I'll keep you up to date with that.
All right, comic shops and venues. You heard that. Yes, she's looking to do more signings. Yes.
Thank you for putting the call out.
Welcome. All right. And you were talking about, it's so fun to write Mary Jane because, it could be so many powers. Do you have a list somewhere written down, either on paper or on a computer, be like, okay, I've used this power, I've used this power.
I definitely do, because I feel like she switches powers so often, and especially in this miniseries, and like having to come up with like really fun ones that hopefully people haven't seen many times before. But yeah, I definitely have like a list on my notes app on my phone, and I will like have random ideas when I'm out in public and just think, oh, that would be fun to do. But yeah, there have already been such cool ones, like the cotton candy power, which is so cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you top that? Yeah, it's like, I know I'm gonna have to keep on updating it because I want to be able to have like wacky powers that I feel like people haven't seen before.
You just have to pinch yourself and be like, I get paid to do this.
Yes. Yeah, it is wild because it's like, this is my job. I get to like wake up and like come up with like these weird power sets and like work with these heroes. It is so funny. I guess like my mom was walking with someone in like the other day and she was telling her that her daughter is like writing Mary Jane in Spider-Man, and she's like, but is she allowed to do that? Isn't that like copyright infringement? Because she thinks it's just like I'm writing fan fiction. And like, honestly, I was doing that for many years. So it is cool to be paid for it because I was like just posting it anonymously online before. But I appreciate that my mom's friends are like, maybe she's just writing fan fiction. And honestly, that's okay. But the fact that like I get to do it and I get to share it with so many people and hopefully they respond is like such a gift. Yeah, no, I definitely pinch myself every day working in this world. This is, a dream come true.
I know. I've heard a few writers who said, they either have like significant others or their parents or someone, just that I'd be walking in stores being like, hey, guess what I wrote? Guess what I wrote?
I get like weirdly embarrassed and socially awkward. It's something I'm working on. But I'm lucky that like at my local comic book shop, I just know all of them so well, and it's like such a chill crowd. It like helps with my social anxiety. Like if I'm able to talk comics, that's like a lot easier for me to do.
Oh, I completely
and talk
understand.
anything else.
Yes.
Truly.
Yes.
I'm like, you want to talk the latest MCU show? I'm down.
Oh. Oh, did you watch Echo?
I did watch Echo.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think she's a great character.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen it?
Oh, yes. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. No, I loved the Marvels as well recently. I've already like bought it. It hasn't before it comes to streaming. I know it will be on streaming soon, but I was so excited to rewatch it. Yeah. I've been a huge like Captain Marvel fan since I was young. And Valkyrie is my favorite character in Marvel. So that movie felt very targeted. And Kamala. I was like, oh, this is for me.
Yeah. What I know what you were saying about, like the social anxiety and stuff. Because like back when I was in high school, people are like, oh, you read comic books and that. And now it's like I walk into work, I walk in this wherever, and people are just like, oh, that new MCU show. What's this character about? What's it? I'm like the expert at work about like comics and stuff. I'm just everyone's like,
you're the coolest guy there.
Yeah, what's coming up next? And it's so weird. That
it is weird that like I feel like perhaps both of us, you more than I, like started loving Marvel comics before it was like in the ether as much as it was. So it is so fun that people like are talking about like comic issues now and like asking who like Dar-Ben is or all these like characters who I'm like, oh, I never thought we would be having these conversations, but it's like the coolest thing. Even my friends who don't really read comics, like we have full conversations about Marvel and the intricacies of the multiverse, and it's like one of my favorite things. That was fun.
I know, it's so weird. It's just you have to realize it's like, wait a minute. Not only did I never think like a lot of this stuff, like who thought Thanos would be a household name, and like like your mother or someone would know who Thanos is.
Honestly, yeah, my grandma watches the movies now. She's like a big Chris Evans fan, and she's like watching Captain America and Avengers Endgame, and I'm like, oh, you're watching things that like I never ever assumed we would watch together and be able to like talk about. It's really exciting.
That's
right. Thanos is a big
but all of it. I mean, but that's gonna be awkward when your grandma's like, oh, that's Celeste, America's ass. Yeah.
She does say that to me all
does
the time.
Does she?
Okay. Yeah, it's her favorite quote. But it is funny. Like, I think I was wearing like a Captain America jacket the other day. Unfortunately, most of my clothing is like comic books.
Oh, most of my shirts are, yeah.
Yeah. And she like recognized the Captain America logo. I was like, that's fun through Zoom. But yeah, no, it's so fun that it's become kind of a bigger cultural moment because I mean, there's such great relatable stories to begin with in the comics. And so it's like exciting that we can share it kind of with everyone now.
I just feel sad that like a lot of people didn't get to it in print, and more people relate to it through like the movies and stuff, which is good. I mean, I love the movies and everything, but I'm just like, there's so much like reading material you can get into about any of the decades you can get into reading these characters.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, like it'll still happen to me where I'll see a character in a show or movie that like I haven't really seen before, and I go back and try to find like all the comics on Marvel Unlimited and just go through, because I mean that's the fun of it.
That's how I know like I'm really connecting with the show, because I'm like, man, I need to go back and read all those comics again.
Yeah, and it's like impossible to keep up, I feel, even though I try my best. There are so many incredible comics, like even just in the Marvel universe, that I'm missing constantly because it's just, there's not enough time. And sometimes like, it's just, I'll try to keep up with like everything that's happening in Gang War and miss out on like, other incredible series. So there's always something.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
That's the double-edged sword, because it's like, it's such a golden age of comics, but I know I read a ton already, and I'm like, then I hear someone say, "Oh, did you read this?" I'm like, "No," and then it's like, "Oh, this series is good." I'm like, I'm reading like a huge stack every week, but then meanwhile, I'm still missing out on stuff. So it's great that there's so much good stuff out there, but I think if you have a job, you don't have time to read all this stuff.
I know, it's hard, and then like to keep up with all of it, like in terms of Marvel, like to keep up with all the movies and TV shows too. I mean, yeah, I am trying my best. There should be someone I'm sure there is someone who's keeping like a list online of everything that you should be like reading and watching every month.
I mean, if you go online, I think, you can find lists, and it will even tell you, the order everything released and what order to watch stuff. I think there's even people who are like, here's the complete chronological list of the MCU, where it's like, okay, watch the first Captain America, then watch, like the 90s portion of the first Captain Marvel movie, then jump to Iron Man.
I need someone to do it with comics too, like to track it all for me, if that's possible. If someone in the comics comment section here can do that for me.
I'm a chronological.
It's hard to keep up.
I know there are lists you can go on, and it'll like give you like every like issue, like certain characters have appeared in. Some of them it's huge. It's a huge list.
Yeah, it's like really. I feel so like I am so grateful for Marvel Unlimited, because there were like, I love Valkyrie as a character, and there were so many issues that I had never read until recently because I just like searched it on Marvel Unlimited. I didn't even know they existed, so I've been able to go back and find them digitally because it's hard to find them in print.
That's the other thing too, because I read like most of my stuff. On paper, but I have Marvel. Yeah. I have Marvel Unlimited, but and then they have those the Marvel Unlimited stuff, and I'm just the original series. I'm like, I didn't know that was out.
I know, there's so much amazing content. I want to like keep track of it all. Maybe one day I'll take like a week off and just read comics, which doesn't sound like a terrible way to spend.
Oh no, definitely not. Okay, so here's a question I love to ask everyone. All right, so they come to you and they say you can. Okay, I was going to say TV or comics, but you can do both if you want. All right, so they come to you and say, okay, Celeste, you can rate any Marvel character. Like I said, comics and TV if you want to answer both, but you can rate any character. Who is it?
Probably Captain Marvel.
Okay. Yeah.
Captain Marvel or Valkyrie. For Captain Marvel, I've been like following her the longest, I think. I love her very much, and I think like she's just very relatable. I know obviously she's incredibly powerful, but I find her so relatable, and she makes so many mistakes and like recovers, and she has like these beautiful friendships. I love her very much. And then Valkyrie has always meant a lot to me because I think like her, I'm queer, and I think like just seeing her arc and her relationships has meant a lot to me. So I think her MCU portrayal is like probably my favorite. I love like Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie. But yeah, both of the iterations, like the comics and in the movie.
Oh, now I really want to see like an ongoing Jackpot series because we'll see like Captain Marvel guest appearance at some point and maybe a Valkyrie guest appearance. Yeah,
that would be so fun. Like an A-Force. I loved.
Yes,
I love those kinds of team ups so much. Like I think, that would be like the dream come true. Also like Kamala, like all of these characters are so incredible, and they're killing it too. Like Saber and Iman Vellani right now. Like so incredible. Like I just like so many talented people in comics right now. But yeah, it'd be very fun to do like a Jackpot Captain Marvel. If anyone's out there wanting that.
So would it be Captain Marvel and Valkyrie for comics and TV, or?
I think so. Yeah, those are the characters I really love and connect to. I think Kamala, I've been following her since the very beginning, and like Asana just put so much of herself in Kamala, and I just feel like I relate very deeply to someone who was like writing fan fiction. I'm not sure I'm the right voice for those comics. I think like there are other writers who understand her voice more than I do, but I think like she's such a great character. But yeah, I think Captain Marvel and like Valkyrie, I love both of them individually and together.
Have you read all the Captain Marvel runs? I mean, there have been so many, but I know like we've talked to Kelly Thompson a few times. That Kelly Thompson run, that is epic. Captain Marvel.
It's one of my favorite runs.
Oh yeah.
I mean, right from the very beginning, like seeing her and Jess take on that big Kraken, you're like, she just has. I've never met Kelly Thompson before, but I'm a big fan of hers. I think like her run, I liked Kelly Sue's run, of course. Yeah, there have been so many incredible people. I love like Alyssa Wong's run right now.
Oh yeah, the new one, yeah.
They're incredible. Yeah, I think, but Kelly Thompson for sure like had one of my favorite runs, and it went for so long. It was just such a gift because I felt like it was just the thing I could look forward to.
Oh, I know. That's what I said. I mean, she got that book to 50 issues. I'm like, who does that if you're not Spider-Man these days?
No, I mean, like, it's a testament to the writing.
Yeah.
And like her portrayal of Carol was so grounded and so realistic. Oh, yeah. And like, and like the friendships, it was such a great series.
Oh yeah, just the mix of the personal stuff and just like the Enchantress stuff, and yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I know it's not Marvel, but the Birds of Prey run
that
she's doing now, so good. Yeah, no, I think she's such an incredible writer. Like, she's one of those writers who I think I would like pick up series because her name's on it.
Yeah.
And I know there are a bunch of writers like that, like who are just so incredible. You'll just check out everything. And I've learned a lot about different characters just because I love writers and follow them to different series.
Oh yeah. And like I said, we've talked to her a few times. She's a very nice person. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good to hear. I hope one day we get a chance to meet.
I was going to say, I have to come up with some excuse to get you both on at the same time.
I don't know. I'm like, I'd be so awkward. I'm just such a big fan. I'll keep it cool.
Oh, it's so funny. She's one of the ones I think she told, how you say your mom's like, oh, how you're writing Jackpot and stuff. And I think she said one time her boyfriend went to this shop and when she was writing Power Rangers or something, and he like got the issue, put it on the counter, told the guy, this is my girlfriend, and the guy's like, oh, okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
I know, it's so funny because, I think the one person I know who's always recognized in comics is Zeb. Like, I don't know why. Like, people just, obviously because he's super talented and, has done so much. But it's very funny because we'll be walking in random locations, not even to do with comics, and people will recognize him, which is so funny to me. But no one ever recognizes me, obviously, because I'm new to it. But I didn't think it's like at cons where it's like that's where people really get so excited, and that's why it's so exciting to just like, because I feel like comics is such a a niche market, and like sometimes maybe not as much as I think anymore, but it's like harder for me to find people who are like very into comics and have pull lists and like go to comic book shops. But at cons, it's so fun to like run into people who this is also their life, and like
I think it's the cons. It's like there aren't a lot of like, you know, just casual fans like wandering in there. It's like, yeah, if you're there, you're in the life. Yeah,
you know everything.
Yes.
Yeah, because like I'll see writers who I've only seen like a picture of them in the back of a comic, and I get so excited, and it's not always appropriate for me to like go up and be like, I'm such a big fan, but it's fun to like see other people kind of recognize artists and writers too at those cons, and like all appreciate each other's work.
Oh, I know that. I mean, there's a few I've talked to, like DG Chichester, J.M. DeMatteis. Like I was reading as a teenager in the '90s. I was like, I've been reading your stuff forever. You know, it's just
that's so cool.
Some of that, I just talked to people. I just thought, you're part of the club now. I consider like comic book writers like rock stars. I'm just like, you're that person who does that thing I love.
Well, I mean, that is very nice of you to say. I feel like I'm still learning from so many people, and
hey, you're
so lucky to be here.
You're a published writer and one of the big two, so come on. Thank
you. Yeah, it's wild. It's really exciting. Like I got to go to LA Comic-Con and see the Gang War panel on stage, and it's like so wild to be like, oh, I did a small thing in that, like incredible crossover. Like one of the things I would have like picked up when I was like young and read front to back and like picked up every issue. And I still do, obviously. I'm picking up every issue, I promise. But yeah.
So is there any other stuff you're reading you're really enjoying at the moment?
What else am I reading? I'm like a little behind on comics. So I'm just getting through like the Marauders right now, Steve Orlando's Marauders. I know it's a bit outdated now, but I'm like reading that. I've been reading mostly the Gang War stuff, trying to keep up. I still have to pick up the latest issues, but I've been reading like Cody Ziegler's Miles Morales run, which I think is so wonderful.
Oh yeah.
Like just, he knows Miles like inside out, and I feel like he nails it. I mean, what are you reading? Do you have any recommendations?
Oh, I mean, I read, so like I said, I read so much and I still don't. Daredevil's been good. Saladin Ahmed.
Ooh, yeah.
And Jen showed up in the issue this week also. So.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, and Rainbow Rowell's She-Hulk.
Yes, sensational She-Hulk. Yes, yes.
So good. My friend like wrote a little story at the beginning of it because she was Jessica Gao, she was the head writer of the She-Hulk series, and she wrote like a little story, and I like went to her house the other day so she could sign it for me. But I know she didn't even. I think. Wait, I have it here. It's an exclusive. She signed it right there.
Oh, nice.
I feel very lucky. I know. But Rainbow Rowell is such an incredible writer, and like,
oh yeah,
the funnest take on Jen. There's so much going. But the Daredevil, I'll definitely have to check it out.
The Rainbow and Cody. I mean, these are some of the names of people I would like to talk to about this stuff.
Yeah, you got to do it.
I try.
Well, they're really cool. And Zeb, a legend in the industry now, recognized wherever we go. But yeah.
Oh, I would talk to him. Yeah.
Yeah, I think his run is like, you know, his run has been on for so long now. His Spider-Man run, 2 years almost, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what book we really like right now? Are you caught up on the rest of the Gang War stuff? Erica Schultz on Daredevil Gang War with Elektra.
Oh, yeah.
That is so good.
Yeah, I need to catch up. I read her stuff for Hallows Eve.
Yes.
But I haven't like dove into her Daredevil.
Yeah, her Daredevil.
Yeah, but I need to.
Yeah, her Daredevil's really good because me and my co-host are even like this needs to be an ongoing. This is.
Oh yeah, no, she also seems so cool.
Oh yeah, I talked to her once. Yes, she's very nice also. Yeah, but
they're good people in this industry. Yeah. No, I've heard that one. I mean, like the whole. I'm learning a lot about all the different like characters through just like reading all the gang war issues. I feel like there are some characters who I not necessarily heard enough about, and like so I'm being educated in Marvel lore as much as I can be.
Like who?
Like I didn't know as much about like some of I didn't know as much about like Hammerhead.
Oh yeah.
And like some of the just like people involved in the gang war. So I'm going back and reading through some like
some of them like Hammerhead, they'll have like a big story and then like no one will use them for a couple years. There's like there'll be like big gaps, and
I know they're characters like I've definitely heard of,
but
I feel like I've missed like pivotal issues with some of them. Like I know if someone brought them up, and I know, but no, it's been really cool to like involve myself in like those stories and like dig into all of those characters. Obviously, like Tombstone and seeing like Janice Lincoln and all these things has been fun. I'm definitely someone who needs to like is trying to like take present day comics and like learn the history of certain characters. I love like getting invested in characters and going back and like seeing where they came from and who they are. It's like one of the gifts. And obviously some are bigger than others. Like luckily MJ, I knew a bunch about her already and I'm still learning. I haven't read like every MJ comic, but I try to like every weekend go back and like to the, 80s comics and 90s comics because she's so cool. She was just always the best. But yeah.
Their story in the 90s. She goes after the chameleon with a baseball bat. I mean, she is just no power.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No powers. She just went after the chameleon. Yeah.
That's the thing about MJ that's so cool is like she's always been a hero, and I think like when we were talking about what this Jackpot issue would be, I think like she doesn't have as big a learning curve in my mind as some of the other characters who first get superpowers because she's been so involved in this world for so long.
Yes.
And she has been such a hero. And obviously it takes some adjustment, because these power sets are new. But I think like she just has these incredible instincts and this like love for her friends and her family. And she's always been just like put herself in front of others. And I think like that's what's so incredible about her and so exciting now to see her with powers and what she's capable of.
Oh yeah. That summed that up perfectly.
Well, thank you. But it's fun chatting with you about this.
All right.
I'm so honored. Well, thank you. And thank you for having me.
All right. And before we go, okay, so one, I'm going to keep you to your promise. When Jackpot and Black Cat come out, we will talk again. So
yeah, I would love that.
Oh, cool.
Let's do it.
All right.
I'll have more to say then. Unfortunately, I can't spoil as much now.
I know. So, all right, besides Jackpot #1, which is in stores now, go pick it up, kids. Go pick up 2 copies. Pick up one for you, one for your mom, whatever. Is there anything else you're working on you want to promote? Or?
Yeah, well, I have the Black Cat MJ Jackpot Black Cat miniseries coming out at the end of March.
So pre-order it, kids.
Pre-order it. I have a small story and something coming out. I'm not sure it's been announced yet, so I don't know if I can say it, but...
Is it another Marvel project, or is it somewhere
It's another little Marvel thing.
Okay.
And then, unfortunately, I can't talk about anything else. I wish it wasn't as secretive. But I worked on a TV show called Marvel Zombies that's going to come out in sometime. It's not anywhere close to being done yet, but... hopefully it'll come out soon. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, nice.
A lot of zombies and a lot of MCU characters. And I think they've like announced it at Comic-Con. But yeah, that'll be a little bit of a longer wait, but I'm excited for people to see that.
I mean, we can discuss that too. I mean, just let me
Yeah, we can discuss that. It's an animated series that's like a spin-off of What If. There was a zombies episode in What If season 1.
Yes.
And it's by the same director, Brian Andrews. And I worked with Zeb on it. So that's how we first met. And it's been a ton of fun. And it's a little gory. It's a little dark. but hopefully it has like enough characters to keep people intrigued. And yeah, it's got some really fun characters. I think it's been announced, but like Kamala is a big part, and we've got like just a bunch of fun characters. Kate Bishop, and I'm trying to think of the ones they've announced. Chong and Katie. Yeah, they did like a Comic-Con reveal. So.
Oh, nice. So I know you probably can't reveal like the release date or anything, but do you know how many like episodes it is, or?
I do. I don't know if they've like announced how many episodes. Okay. Truthfully, I just don't want to get in trouble with Marvel. Hopefully it will be released relatively soon. I've seen like cuts and it's looking so great. It's going to be really exciting. It's like the same animation style as What If. Oh, and nice. Yeah, it's going to be really fun. And I think it's very fun. I'm excited for people to see it. So I wish I could say more.
So they're really coming with that animation, because we just had What If season 2. They announced, I believe, season 3.
Yeah. There's going to be season 3.
And then at some point this year, X-Men 97 is coming out, I believe. So.
Yeah, and the new Spider-Man show.
Yes, I'm so excited for that. Yes.
Yeah, it's all going to be. I mean, they've been killing it in Marvel Animation, and everyone there is like just so lovely and awesome. So I'm excited for everyone to see it. I've seen like small previews of some of the other shows, but I'm excited to see it all premiere.
Well, you seem to be on the right track, because just from talking to other people, it seems like when you do good, they just throw more and more work at you. So that seems to be what they're doing. So
thank you for saying that. I'm so lucky to work with everyone there. And it's, as you said, a dream come true.
And like I said, I can't praise this enough. Kids, go buy Jackpot #1.
Thank you.
If you can find it at your store. It's not sold out like mine was. So.
Oh, that's so exciting to hear. I mean, I hope that everyone can get their copies. I'm so thank you so much for your kind comments. That means so much to me.
I enjoyed it. Like I said, it just makes me happy when people take care of these characters, and you did.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to chat more about her with the miniseries. We'll have to catch up then.
Oh, do you have any social media or anything you want people to follow you, or a website or anything? Or
yeah, you can follow me. I'm on Instagram at @cell_Bron, and then on Twitter at the same username. So you can go follow me there, and keep in touch. Let me know what you think. Excited to hear. And I'm excited to speak again soon.
I was going to say, and we will talk that Jackpot and Black Cat. So keep people send in your praise, send in your questions. All right. So yes, thank you, Yay. Celeste. Like I said, I really love talking to people and get them behind the scenes stories and the making of all this stuff. So thank you so much.
Thank you. This has been so much fun. I'll speak to you later.
Yes. Thank you.
Bye.